Aloha. Welcome back to Your Relationships Reimagined, looking at your relationship with yourself. Today, we're talking about soul and spirit. Whew, this feels a little stretchy for me. So remember, we're going beyond our comfort zone of what's super familiar to us, and we're moving into a new way of being, stretching, not to the point of anxiety producing, but to the point of, whew, wow, maybe things can feel a little more supportive in my life. Wow, what if I asked myself, what would life feel like if I were less anxious, more trusting, exhibiting more faith, having a greater sense of surrender? Those are some interesting questions that I invite you to think about today. We're going to look at how the distinctions of an extraordinary life, the first four being trust, focus, repair, and faith, how do they relate to soul and spirit? I think where we need to begin is with the definition, as I see it, as I understand it, of soul. Hard to put words to this, but my understanding of soul is that essence of consciousness that resides within me. Soul is Amy Elizabeth Gordon's embodiment of spirit. Spirit is that interconnecting web of all existence. The sentient beings, the consciousness that connects us all, including the trees and the plants and the mountains and the rivers, all included as spirit. Inviting spirit to come home means finding my soul. Even when I start to explain it, I'm like, oh God, did that work? I invite you to think about it. And the reason I bring this up in this week-long stretch of looking at your relationship with yourself is because I think this is one that many people I work with skip over. They truncate their own transformation by thinking it's all about them and self and ego. And by self, I mean self with the lowercase s, like wants, desires, impulses, instincts, character defects, like what's all here that we need to fix with our food and drink and sex and sleep and tech and connect. Those are all important things to consider. And the backdrop, the landscape of the heart, is actually the soul. And when we lose touch with that, we feel terminally unique. We feel a sense of isolation. We feel a sense of loneliness. We feel a greater static, a disconnect, and it is a doorway towards suffering when we hang out in those places. Here's the thing. I love being alone. Solitude is completely restorative to me, to an extent. And then there's this tipping point where it becomes loneliness, isolation, lone wolfing it, pushing back. In that place, I'm not even connected with source, spirit. I use those words interchangeably. Again, I'm going to go ahead and apologize because I by no means pretend to be an expert on this issue. I just share my own experience and I use words interchangeably. I talk about higher power. I talk about God. I talk about goddess. I talk about keakua. I talk about so many things that to me in the moment reflect the words that best capture source. I am source for a transformed world. You are source for a transformed world. You are source for your life. You are responsible for your life. I am responsible for my life. I'm responsible for everything. What would it be like to stretch into that way of being? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I get to embody the higher power in this moment and choose the higher road. Love, compassion, resilience, service, gratitude, generosity, kindness, forgiveness, love, grace, mercy. It's almost as if I can feel my cells singing and dancing and doing somersaults of joy when I tune into that channel of Source and invite Source to come home, Spirit to come home in my soul. How do we use the 4 distinctions with this? I trust that I can access that at any time. I trust myself to not abandon myself. I trust Spirit and Source to not abandon me. I trust Source to do for me what I cannot do for myself. I trust Source to source my kids, to source my husband, to source my in-laws, to source my clients, that I'm not doing this alone. Focus. I focus here. I take deep breaths. I feel my head over my heart, over my hara, my center, my core, my na'au, my guts. When I'm in this structural alignment of my spine, I feel the strength holding me up. God's got my back. Spirit's got my back. I feel my heart opening. Soft front, strong back. Something pulling me forward, inspiring me. I also have accountability. I see Source and Spirit in the eyes of those around me. That is the manifestation of God. I see Spirit in that ohia lehua tree right there that is blowing wildly in the wind with red blossoms and bees buzzing. There's an energetic aliveness, and I can exchange with that. I can make myself ready to receive the gifts that are around me. That is how I focus. Here, with my breath, with my posture, with that upright aliveness. And then I expand out and connect with all that is in a 360-degree way. And then come back. Out and in. Inhale. And release. I repair this by recognizing there have been times where I have felt abandoned. Someone said, if you're wondering where God is, ask who moved. God's always there. Who moved? Forgiving myself for forgetting. Coming back to the sweetness of this moment, right here, right now. Surrendering. Going through the practice of repair. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. In whatever order you want. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I'm really sorry. Repair. Repair means, on a deeper level, turning every frustration into an appreciation. This is high-level conscious connection with Spirit. When those dishes are in the sink, I can say, oh, those are love notes from my beloveds. They're taking good care of themselves, and I can ask them to put them away, or I can freely give to them that I'll put them away. Any little thing in my life can serve as a source of disconnection, discontentment, and disturbance, or connection, contentment, and what was the other one? Peace. Just to be at ease with what is to surrender to the sweetness of the moment. That is the best way I know how to repair my soul, my appreciation for Spirit, because we've been through a lot, and I have blamed, shamed, and criticized. If there were a God, how could this happen? Who am I to say such a thing? It is my job to show up and say, how did I contribute to this calamity? Where have I shown anything at all resembling this catastrophe in my own life? Where have I abandoned myself? Where have I rejected others? Where have I been unkind, untruthful, selfish, self-centered, dishonest, seeking, fearful? I'm human. I have those experiences. I get to forgive myself, release and repair, and come back to come home to myself. So the final distinction of an extraordinary life for today is faith. Faith in soul and spirit. Faith that I don't have to figure it out on a daily basis. And this is the big both and it's a continual mystery. The more I progress along this path of transformation, the less I know. The greater the mystery is, the greater the question marks are. And the greater the common denominator is in all of the world wisdom traditions. It's almost as if I can decipher what people are saying and hear the common thread and pick up on that common heartbeat, the universal heartbeat, without knowing the answers, without knowing the why, with embracing the mystery. I have faith in the unknown today. I have faith in my ability to tolerate discomfort. I used to recoil from discomfort. I used to think of, what do I need to be comfortable in this moment right here, right now? For a decade, it was Bacardi. Then it was dudes. Then it was, like whatever it was I thought I needed out there to make me feel okay in here. I was seeking spirit through a bottle of spirits. Bacardi didn't get me where I wanted to go. Where is this showing up in your life? I'd love for you to respond to this email, to this video, and let me know what is showing up for you around soul and spirit. We all have different vernacular, different vocabulary, different ways of embodying it. Thank goodness. Otherwise, we'd be a big field of wild daisies, which could be beautiful for a moment, but thank God there's diversity. And diversity thrives in common purpose. I do believe the common purpose is to cultivate a compassionate heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me the honor and the good fortune of influencing your mind. Take what you can use, leave the rest behind. Share this video, share this link, reach out to me. help@amyelizabethgordon.com. I'd love to hear from you. Aloha and be well. You matter, your relationships matter.